This is actually an old movie. This is a 1 year ago when little Tibor was just castrated and it was June. And the big white one is taking care of his little friend. And care is the second emotion of animals, of horses. If they would not be caring for their friends, they would not be able to live in a herd or in a group. Now you see Tibor a little bit irritated. They Curiosity is the first emotion that a horse needs to survive. He has to be curious to look for food and to be aware of his environment, because horses in their own world travel. Most people know that they travel around, and they in the wild there have been observations of 1500 kilometers in circles, and they go around. They are safe in the open field. And when we look at how horses take care of each other, they have very special relationships. They know exactly which ones are part of the herd and which ones are not. And that's their natural way of living. That's the way they raise their fillies. The fillies are raised in the herds, and the younger stallions, 1 year, 2 year old, depends on the horse, leave the herd and form these bachelor groups, which is very interesting because it all makes sense if you are aware of how horses live. And the more you get aware of how horses live, the more you get to understand them. Um, Understanding helps you to make better choices. The more you understand about horses, the better choices you will make. Like, for instance, people who buy or put 2 or 3 horses together in a field and then say, let them fight over it. I think that's cruel, because if I look at what we do, sometimes horses need 2 or 3 months to get more or less used to each other before we put them together. I don't want to increase or make any horse fights. That's ridiculous to do. So it's my um, responsibility to take care of these horses. I'm not a herd member, I'm not a herd leader, and many times I get so sick and tired of this dominance things. Horses do need uh, clear boundaries. They need clear limits. They want to know what to do. They want to know their daily program. And you can see very easy that this is no wild environment. I mean, the grass is wild. Perhaps you might think that. This is an environment in captivity, and in captivity we have this responsibility. And then the word dominance would be okay, because we dominate our horses and we put them in circumstances where we expect them to be happy. Well, happiness is also, I always say, happiness is a moment. It's not a state of life, it's a state of being. Happiness means that the horse can do whatever he wants. It's like freedom. You can be very free in an environment which doesn't say you are really free. But when you are free in your head and you're free of bad emotions, of sad emotions, or fear, free of anger, free of panic, free of whatever, then you can say this horse is free. Ah, poor little Tibor. He was just castrated there, and he really had big trouble with it. He had painkillers, and we tried to help him, but he had to overcome it. Anyway, never mind. This is 1 year ago, and it was better because this little guy, for instance, he's very playful, and he still is. I sometimes say he's castrated, he's gelded, but I never noticed exactly the difference. What I mean is that his character, his personality, he's a happy guy, he's a playful guy, that didn't change. But what did he do when Kabul was eating like this? Many times Tibor just get a I don't know what he does. Then he starts to run and bit Kabul on the head. And Kabul was not as flexible as little Tibor was. So actually that was the main reason to geld our little Tibor. Anyway, what I want to say about dominance is we dominate our horses, and we put them in environments which are not their choice, which are not their environment. There's nothing bad about it as long as you try to be creative on finding ways to keep your horse healthy. And one of the health things is the immune system. When a horse is unhappy, that takes stress, and stress is testosterone. No, stress is cortisol. Oh, look at him angry watching. Is cortisol, and that causes, in long term, that causes diseases. That causes injuries. And when horses are living in a pretty good environment, you will prevent these injuries, these diseases. When you look at this, you can see pretty well that Tibor is not feeling very well. He's not playing, he's taking care of himself, but he's also happy that his friend is there. That is, as long as his friend keeps a long distance, because his friend sometimes had these sexual interests in the little guy, and that's something at this moment that Tibor cannot deal with. What I mean to say is that be aware of the needs of a horse. Fulfill the needs of a horse. It helps the immune system, and the immune system takes care of the health of your horse. Not to say that we are perfect, but we never have diseases. We never have colic or other issues. And I think the reason is that we try to do our best to give them enough daylight, to give them possibility to graze, to walk free in the land. I find friends, depends on which horses are there. I find them friends, and if I can't find them friends, then we also put them in the field, but then we keep the fence in between. These are all things that are very important, because if you're talking about dominance, we people dominate these horses, and we have to be aware that we are responsible. So, our little guy is having a little bit issues. Now he's better, now he's again playful, and if you can see the latest movies, you will see him playing again and having a lot of fun. It was just a moment. So, I hope you are more aware of the needs, to fulfill the needs of your horse. After all, we dominate them. We are the caretakers of freedom. Hope it helps.